Getting ready for the new school year should start earlier, when you have a youngster with Asperger's, or high-functioning autism. There are so many things to plan ahead for, and people to coordinate with. You'll need to start preparing your youngster too. If you're like many moms and dads of kids on the autism spectrum, it's tempting to put off back-to-school preparations until the first day is just a week or so away. The resulting last-minute flurry of phone calls, errands, and meetings can be overwhelming. But this year, you can make the back-to-school process easier. In this video, we will focus on simple things you can do now to make this the best transition to the new school year ever. Tip number 1. Brainstorm a list of everything that needs to happen with school between now and the first day of school. Get help from your spouse and/or a friend who has a youngster in the same classroom. Depending on your youngster's age and abilities, include him as much as possible in this brainstorming step. Also, highlight anything on your list involving a phone call, and start making those phone calls now. Top priority should be given to any call involving scheduling an appointment or a meeting. Calendars fill up quickly this time of year. Tip number 2. Bring your youngster to the school to meet people. Introduce her to anyone available, for example, the school nurse, administrators, office staff, custodians, etc. If possible, make arrangements in advance for your youngster's teacher to be there when you visit. Tip number 3. Depending on your youngster's age and abilities, allow her to practice self-advocacy skills. Encourage her to ask questions, tell educators and staff about her classroom needs, and discuss any issues that need to be taken care of before the first day of school. Tip number 4. During the last few weeks of summer vacation, pull out some study materials and help your child get back into study mode, for example, with math, vocabulary, and sentences. Start daily practice with the subjects and areas she likes, for a few minutes a day, increasing up to longer times, and throwing in the subjects that are more difficult. Use playtime, games, videos and swimming as rewards. Your youngster may grumble, but her teacher will thank you. Tip number 5. For most children on the autism spectrum, transitions are the toughest challenge. To make matters worse, some of these young people are undergoing a major transition this school year, for example, from preschool to kindergarten, from short days to full days, from elementary to middle school, and so on. Thus, consider creating a few social stories about some of the transitions your child is likely to face in the new school year. Tip number 6. Get back on a school year schedule gradually. Start moving up dinner time, bedtime, and wake-up time, so the first day of school won't be such a shock. Also, have your child help you make a morning checklist, to help him remember everything he needs to do on a school morning, after he wakes up. In addition, create a don't forget list, and post it by the door with key items, for example, backpack, books, and lunch. Tip number 7. If you had your last IEP, more than 3 months ago, or are planning to have it soon, now is the time to review all your old paperwork, for example, the IEP, testing, evaluations, doctor's visits, etc., and see if your youngster has made any progress or regressions. Have new concerns risen over the summer? For example, meltdowns, or aggression? Does the IEP plan still fit? Changes like these will affect the expectations of the fall semester school staff, and will likely necessitate calling an IEP meeting to re-review your youngster's goals. Schedule doctor visits for 2 to 6 weeks before school. Ensure that any medication is stable, and that your youngster feels supported. Stay positive about the approach of school, and remind your youngster of the things that he liked about school. The last few weeks of summer vacation is a great time to work on a skill that your youngster is lacking, for example, how to greet her classmates, or how to dress herself. If there is one small skill that you would like your youngster to be able to perform once school starts, create a plan for introducing that skill on a frequent basis, and remember to use a reward system that works best for your youngster along the way. Review the layout of the school with your youngster. Do a tour of the building, even if he went to the same school last year. It helps get him into the school year mindset, and also helps remind him where things are, for example, exits, bathrooms, cafeteria, gym, nurse's office, and new classrooms. If your youngster is older, it's a good idea to get his locker number, and let him practice opening the lock a few times. Children on the autism spectrum may require several weeks to get back in a comfortable routine once they have started school. Thus, parents would do well to facilitate a back-to-school mindset in their child several weeks before the first day of school, rather than waiting until the last minute.